People are saying that this year the Galaxy Z Fold has changed very little, but the Flip has changed a lot. The Z Flip 5 is Samsung's biggest upgrade in a while. It's different from the older versions, but after using it every day for a while, well, the freshness of the changes starts to wear off, and I still have to put it in my pocket every morning. Those changes mean more. Hi everyone, this is Tech33, and today we're going to review the Samsung Z Flip 5. First things first, let's talk about the 3.4-inch uniquely shaped edge-to-edge cover screen. In terms of size, the change in the Z Flip 5 is similar to that of the iPhone 6, bigger than bigger. Samsung has even pulled off an impressive ID bezel-less design, giving the illusion that there's no bezel when the screen's off. It's all just screen. The resolution stands at 748 by 720 with a relatively square aspect ratio. This means that the actual display area might have a more significant impact than the number of 3.4-inch suggests. Samsung claims the screen can reach a brightness of 1600 nits. However, considering how phone companies are repeatedly surpassing this brightness milestone every month or two, the brightness figure feels almost meaningless. In practical terms, it handles well in outdoor scenarios. Yet, it's important to note that the PPI for the cover screen is 306, and the refresh rate remains at 60 Hz, so there hasn't been a noticeable improvement in terms of viewing and scrolling experience. At least prior to its release, I was genuinely excited about Samsung's Flip this year, largely due to this expansive cover screen. However, upon using it, it's become evident that it's far from flawless, and the root of the issue lies in software. Samsung is calling it the Flex window, but for now, let's just stick with cover screen. So let's talk about how virus apps work on Flip 5's cover screen. There are basically three types of experiences. Type A, bigger is definitely better. This is where things like Samsung's widgets come into play. These widgets show you cool stuff like photos, clocks, calendars, your fitness status, and also let you quickly access the camera. They can now fit way more information than before. You can even see an entire month's calendar or check out the weather for the next 6 hours. It's like the cover screen has evolved beyond just being like a smartwatch. Music apps also shine on the larger cover screen. And you can also type in your password to unlock the phone right there. Finally. Type B, barely tolerable. This category includes all the IM apps and social media feeds. It's like trying to fit an app from 2023 into an old Nokia smartphone from 15 years ago. It's clear that we can't go back to that. When using these apps on the cover screen, you won't want to spend too much time there. Just quickly check and move on. Type C, which I call oh no. This is especially true for shopping and streaming video apps. These apps just don't fit well on the cover screen. There are a lot of bugs, like problems with how the screen is optimized for different types of content. No matter if you fold or unfold, things just don't look right. Sure, watching a YouTube video on the cover screen might seem exciting at first, but trust me, the excitement fades really quickly. It's not really watching, it's more like listening, just like how things were 15 years ago. So, after using this big cover screen for a while, it falls short of what I expected. I thought it would be super versatile, but it's actually quite limited. Personally, I still use the main screen a lot more than the cover screen. Oh yeah, all of this is based on one thing. You figured out how to use the Good Lock app, and good luck with that. Last but not least, there is one thing that definitely gets better on the cover screen. Taking selfies. You can finally see more of the people and the background on the cover screen. Taking selfies on it feels cool and natural. It's hard to believe that we used those tiny 1-inch displays for selfies for years. Next, let's talk about another big improvement in Samsung Z Flip 5, the hinge. Samsung seems to be the last company in the industry to switch from a V-shaped hinge to a water drop-shaped hinge, even later than the Google Pixel. The water drop hinge brings one big upgrade to Flip 5. It can finally fold with no gap. You might not see it as completely gapless from the side, but that's because the plastic frame of the screen slightly sticks out. In fact, you can't slide an A4 paper into the gap. This change should make the folding more reliable. Normally, switching to a water drop hinge should improve the situation with the crease. However, this improvement isn't very apparent on the Flip 5. Possibly because Samsung's water drop hinge is still relatively narrow. Let's directly compare a set of creases here. Compared to Oppo's Find N2 Flip, Samsung's crease is narrower and deeper. In reality, the feeling when your finger glides over it is pretty much the same as the previous generation, without much improvement. Now, talking about hinge's opening and closing sensation itself, Samsung still offers the most secure feeling in the entire industry. Essentially, it remains consistently tight from opening to closing, even when in the halfway open state. Personally, I'm quite supportive of Samsung's choice here. That tightness provides a sense of security. Now that we've covered the changes, let's move on to what hasn't changed. First up is the camera, which remains identical to the previous generation in terms of specs. There are two 12-megapixel cameras, the main camera with a 1/1.76-inch sensor and OIS, and a 123-degree ultra-wide-angle camera. There's actually not too much new to say. You could warmly call it classic Samsung. At first glance, the photos are impressive, sharp and vibrant, giving a clear feeling. However, upon closer inspection, you'll notice some noise and loss of details in shadowy areas when you zoom in. This situation holds true for both the main camera and the ultra-wide camera. There isn't a telephoto lens in the Flip 5. I think the reason can be inferred from the unique cover screen. They've maximized the space for it. It's reasonable to assume that if the next generation remains this full cover screen design, significant improvements in the camera capabilities of the Flip from Samsung are unlikely. In summary, if you're into selfies, this is one of the best cameras you can get. However, for everyday casual photography, it probably falls into second tier among mainstream brands. Similarly, the weight and dimensions hasn't changed much either, staying at 6.9mm thick and 187 grams. It feels quite nice in the hand though. Additionally, the main screen is slightly brighter than the previous generation and its performance has seen a small improvement too. Samsung's Flip still gets the most powerful processor platform, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy. Its peak performance and power efficiency are currently the best in the Android lineup. This makes the Flip 5 the flip phone with the strongest performance on paper. However, Samsung's approach to performance has always been somewhat conservative, so the actual gaming performance might not match the specs. But do a lot of people really use foldable phones, especially flip phones, for gaming? While its performance to power consumption ratio is excellent, its charging and battery life performance is a bit below average, with 25-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging. While the actual experience isn't that bad, it could be due to the efficiency of the 8 Gen 2 processor, as in day-to-day use, you won't find the Flip 5 to be an underperformer. It can make it through a day with some effort, and there's no need to be overly concerned about the battery life. Price-wise, the Flip 5 starts at $999, but Samsung has provided some promotions during the pre-order and open sale phases. Taking my own experience as an example, during pre-order, Samsung offered a direct discount of $50. Through a trade-in program for my old Flip 4, I could deduct $900 from the price. Adding to that, Samsung's offer to sell the 512 version at the same price as the 256 version, I actually ended up paying just $49.99 to upgrade from a 256 Flip 4 to a 512 Flip 5. Run it up, it's pretty much like getting it for free. Therefore, we don't really need to worry about Samsung's sales figure. With its strong product offering and channel-based discounts, the Flip 5 is definitely going to be the best-selling flip phone worldwide. While this review should have ended here, much like some people feel, Samsung and Apple are becoming more and more alike. Product iterations are getting more stable and dramatic changes are becoming fewer. But this is actually a very interesting topic, especially when you have the Flip 5 in your hands, you can immediately recognize it as a Samsung. A phone made up of solid color blocks, and if you opt for the special edition available only on their website, its uniqueness becomes even more apparent. Samsung's minimalistic choices in colors, materials, and finishes, and the seamless connection between the metal frame and the glass on both sides. It's like a refinement that has been maintained from a decade ago till today. The opportunities for innovation in products are becoming more limited. But as the Android world #1, Samsung, like Apple, is turning its products into icons. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Tech33, and I'll see you next time.